Hello, welcome to RC Nerd. As you see, we've got a new project. Today I was actually given a car today. Now, everybody knows that I collect TLO ones, and I was donated this. This is a really in bad nick. Who's ever had it? A friend of mine works on the bins, and literally looks like it's been in the bin, but I'm going to strip it down, completely dismantle it, and I'm going to wash it with warm water, get rid of these shocks. Got shocks for it. It's what I'm going to do. Got these wheels with them as well, which is quite sneaky neat. There's only 3 of them, unfortunately, so glad I've got spares ones of them. Got some bumpers, a shock off a manta ray. Yeah. So it came with no steering hub here, but that's irrelevant because I'm not going to need the steering linkage, because today also, let me just put that there. Today also, Scrapyard Joe, as I've now named him, just bloody stay there. You know, I might give the hint away. Look at these. Why are these so big? That's what she said. Look. Oh, can you work out what's going on? Yes, that's right, people. I'm going to build a TLO1P. TLO1B. P? Where did the P come from? It's supposed to be a B. Anyway, there's a lot of spares to get yet. Still got to get the extension arms. I've got to get the steering arms. There's no servo in it. Looks like it's been in the bin. Not very happy about the condition of it, but I've got a spare box here, so next video I'll show you will be it stripped down. Cheers! These are that bad. This one ain't even turned, it's that rusted up. I'm glad I've actually got bearings for this because it's in a bad shape actually. I gave the lad £15 for, you know, I think it was £15 or £20 again for it, but it's not even worth that. This is in really serious in need of a bit of RC nerd treatment. So just let you know, they're all broke and they're all going to need some WD-40. But when you see this next time, it's all going to be washed up. Ba-doo-ba-doo-boo, boo! Right, I've stripped it down. All these horrible plastic shims. Look at my hands. This thing's in a right mess. I'm telling you. Yeah, you can see all the dirt and grime on there. I'm going to have to give that a thorough cleaning with a toothbrush. This what gets me. How the hell's he burnt a hole through that? Kids most probably trying to be big and cutting into it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean that up and put a blank over it to clean that, so I don't like the look of that. It makes it look tatty. You see the dirt on it, and I've got to scrub this down now. Right, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm changing that into a TLO1B. I think you get an idea who Scrapyard Joe is going to be, but you'll have to wait and what I'm up to, because lucky enough I've got bearings, but it's all the stuff out the TLO1. Looks a lot, but it isn't actually. It's probably the easiest. Shocks have had it, all the other parts are in there to be washed. Dry shaft weighs a ton. I'm just thinking if this is an Eamon's rip-off one and not a Tamiya, because I've seen no proof of Tamiya parts, only a few shocks, but they do copy a lot. The way you can tell a Tamiya from an Ainsman is the, wait a minute, is these, the little mini these front wheel drive shaft things. They are slightly longer, and these are smaller, so I know they are, but look at the state of these things here. I've got to clean these in oil to get the oil into the system and get them all lubricated up, so I don't want them going back on. I've got another one of them bastard. I hate them. I hate them with a mission, I'm telling you. I think I have actually got, just bear with me, I'm positive I bought a kit and didn't need it. Yeah, right. I've got bearings, but I haven't got enough to do the whole car, so I'm going to concentrate on doing, must have some hanging around, copper ones. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I've got 8 bearings. I need quite a lot according to this. What I'm going to do is order another bearing kit. I'm not going to do the bearings today because there's no need to do it. So I'm going to need 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, 8's done. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, yeah. So I'll have to order some more in off my friend from Glasgow. She's brilliant, my bearing mate. He gets me loads of bearings. I have to put the link in below when I find it. But you know, all these plastic ones, can you hear where they're going? In the bin. I've got shocks. I'm alright for shocks. I've got bits and bobs in here I can use, so I'm alright. It didn't come with didn't come with 2 tray holders. Look what I've got. Yeah, see? I can go in that one for the job. Yeah, it seems a bit alright. There's a few issues with it, but remember this was for nothing, and it is, you can tell it was for nothing. It's in a right mess. I've got a lot of spare parts in here. I've got brand new plastic shims. I want to concentrate in the drive more than anything. So I probably will have to save my pennies up. Wait for the sale on my Traxxas stuff and get that on. I might find some hanging around. I've got a few metal shims. I don't mind using them because they do last quite long. Let's have a look at this. No, I tried to adopt them into something else, but no. I'm alright for steering linkages, so I made it with that, so that's saving me a few bob. I might make it into TL01B chassis. I might keep it standard and just stick the shell on it that I've got. I think people have got a rough idea if they've been watching my videos will know what I'm doing. Got a new centre drive shaft there, put that on because that one looks a bit mutated. I'm alright for servo savers. I've got a spare servo. I'm going to strip these down and re-grease them because they need doing. What I do now is quite bizarre because these are special stuff. It's black as the ace of spades, see it? It's called CC11. I used that on the drag line when I was driving the big diggers. And what I'm going to do now, anything metal is going to go into it because this thing will dissolve any type of rust. So I'm going to leave these in here overnight. Not really bothered about the main screws. I'm more happy with the drive shaft being done, so I need 3 of them. Yeah, I'm in there, that and there. I'm in there. Another 2 in there, they're in right mess they are. Put them in there like that. In there like that. Yeah. Been ill-treated, this poor little bugger, so hopefully I can bring her back to life and get her running again. Bearing wise, I'm going to can't rebuild it till the bearings are done, but I'm going to do something to the chassis. I'm going to tartar up a little bit, so I don't like it the way it is. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the planetary gears out. They can have a good old oil as well. People use engine oil. You can use engine oil. But I think with CC11 it puts a sheen on the metal, it's like an invisible barrier, and it stops wear and tear as well. So you know, and it stops squeaks, and you know, I've got a funny feeling this has been ill-treated slightly. It's a shame really, because the person who had it, you know, he said to me, "Oh, I found it, and I've never done nothing with it." So I said, "Fair enough, I'll take it off your hands." And seeing as what I paid for it on shipping, and you know what I won on it, I think it's a bit crap, to tell the truth. shims in there, that one. Doesn't matter. Next one. Then what you do when you put all the metal parts, you need to go into the actual car again. All you do is just spray the C11 over, which I'll show you in a minute, leave it overnight. It'll clean off any debris, and hopefully then you just have to wipe it down with some kitchen towel, so to speak. They are very vulnerable, and they are very, very, very stupid at seizing up these things, especially them plastic shims. It's anything plastic is going to need cleaning. That's going to need cleaning, but look at this being ragged. I might have a spare one of them actually. Get in the habit of washing all the plastic parts in warm, soapy water with an old toothbrush, and then I'll show you what these are like when they're all being cleaned up. It's going to be a big project, this one, because I'm trying to. This is the lowest budget I've ever been on. With the spares I've got, I'm trying to rebuild, and people go, "Oh, it's only a Tamiya." Well, it might be a Tamiya to you, but to me, it's a, it's still an RC car, and Tamiya TLO ones have actually won awards, so they're not exactly rubbish, are they? So, yeah, see the shims on the back of that one, not on there. So, right, so that's all the metal parts that I need in there. I've still got to find one of them drive shafts, which I think I've got. No, that's I'm okay for spare ones of them, but when I come back later you'll see it all cleaned up. Right, that's the stuff. What you do is shake it up. As you can see, it's horrible brown stuff. What you're going to do now is just leave it for about 3 or 4 hours. What I do, I leave it overnight. Then what you do, you wash it down with horrible stuff. It stinks as well. It's gone all over my kecks. It's really powerful stuff, so what it'll do will lubricate what the problem is there. So leave that over there. And these are what, all the screws and that. Yes, a penny's magnetic. You wouldn't believe that, would you? Anyway, yeah, so we've done that. These are going to be cleaned, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you're welcome back. As you can see, look at the state of that water. That's just off the chassis. It's in a right mess. No cracks on it, which is good news. Now what I'm going to do is leave this in the water to bathe a little bit, and hopefully all the smudges should start showing up and I'll get a bit of clean on it. Why that's doing that, as you can see that bit there, I'm going to go and try and make a cover blank for that, because I think it looks ugly, and blend all that off. And then what I'm going to do is just clean it up a little bit. Nothing too spectacular. Don't spend too much money on it and time. I was going to spray the chassis, but it's too much preparation, and if you get oil, if you get paint into the drive shaft areas here, it causes it to build up and it can actually damage it. So my advice is to, I'm just going to leave it, but with me, I'm like peeps, I can change my mind at the last minute and put thin coats on. She'll look quite smart. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this, have a cup of tea, chat with Mum, and then I'll come back and have a look at it. So in part 2, you most probably see all this cleaned up, hopefully. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.